You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by, as we're just going to be answering questions from subscribers about the latest Giants news and rumors leading up to the game this Sunday against the Seattle Seahawks. Let's go. Mike G coming in with the first $10 super chat. Smitty, let's avoid the neighbors ones if we could. Says, Marsh, what is up, my brother? Besides QB and corner, what position the Giants need to upgrade in free agency or the draft? You are a home run hitter. All the guy does is hit dingers. I will say this. Quarterback and corner are my top two, with quarterback being number one. In no other order, the Giants need to go out and add another offensive playmaker that is a difference maker. Whether that's a tight end, whether that's a running back, whether that's another wide receiver, adding another guy that can put fear into a defensive coordinator's heart needs to be added to this team. I also think you need to go out and add another defensive tackle to this team that could play alongside Dexter Lawrence. So I'm going offensive playmaker, defensive tackle, and right guard. You do not have a right guard for the future. Greg Van Roten is here. Greg Van Roten is very close to being over the hill. And I want a right guard that's a road grader, man. I want someone that just is going to get to that second level and create running lanes. We've got a lot of pass blocking offensive linemen. I want a downhill, punch in the mouth, road grading offensive lineman at that right guard spot. So offensive playmaker, right guard, defensive tackle, that's what I'm looking at, Mike G. You're a stud. Rob Jigga, what's up, man? It says Tankathon currently has the 10th overall, taking Quinn Ewers. Thoughts, good or bad? I'd love it. Quinn Ewers is someone that I'm a big fan of. Covered him in high school. Known him now for a long time. Watched a lot of his games. The thing that I love the most about Quinn Ewers is when the lights are the brightest, when he needs to play his best football, he does so. This is a guy that can touch every blade of grass. He's got an elite arm. I worry a little bit about the injuries. 3 straight years in a row, he's had some injuries pop up. But I like to judge quarterbacks in big games. Always go back to C.J. Stroud versus Georgia. I go back to Michael Penix versus Texas. I believe Penix is going to be a good QB. And big game Quinn. He did it versus Bama. Did it versus OU. Did it versus Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship. And he just beat Michigan this past year. Yeah, I would be very happy if Quinn Ewers was a New York Giant, Mr. Rob Jacob. JJ says, thoughts about keeping DJ, then sitting a rookie quarterback behind him for half a season or however long it takes. The reason I say no to that is because I do not want to pay Daniel Jones $41.6 million next year to be a bridge quarterback. You can find a bridge quarterback for far less than $41.6 million. You also need a change of identity. So what I would do is either sign a bridge quarterback if you're going to draft a guy, bring back Drew Lock, and cut Daniel Jones. If you cut him, you save $19.6 million. It's plenty enough money to go out and add somebody else and beef up this roster elsewhere. Neighbor Solo, what up, man? Do you think we could go after Ryan Tannehill? No. I think that ship has sailed at this point. You paid Drew Lock $5 million. If you move on from DJ this year, Drew Lock's going to get that shot. And then if Drew Lock struggles, it's going to be Mr. Tommy Cutlets. Bill, what's up, Bill? Shout out for the $2 super chat. The King, Bill Hartnett on the grill. That chicken is always looking good. Says, do we elevate Hodgins from the practice squad? Look, if Malik Neighbors, and as we're filming this video on Thursday, we do not know the game day status yet for Malik Neighbors. If Neighbors can't play, Bill, you absolutely should elevate Isaiah Hodgins. Because if you don't elevate Hodgins, that means your receivers are going to be Wan'Dale Robinson, Jalin Hyatt, Darius Slayton, Amir Smith-Marset, and Bryce Ford-Wheaton. 5 guys. Yes. You go out and you elevate Isaiah Hodgins. Bill, you know ball. Great question. Great thought. Johnson, is that Daniel Jones hosting up the ACC title? Says, do you see a future with Hyatt in New York? I want to, and I don't love how we are 4 games into his second year in the National Football League for a guy that we all knew was going to be a developmental player. That's why he fell to the 3rd round. We're not developing him. He's played 50 snaps through 4 weeks. I blame Brian Dable for that, man. He needs to do a better job of finding the purpose for this season. I bleed blue. You bleed blue. We're not winning the bowl. So let's focus on how we can win the bowl in the future. And let's see if Jalin Hyatt's a part of that. Because you know who's not going to be a part of the next time the Giants win a Super Bowl? Darius Slayton. Because he would drop the game-winning pass. Who do you got? NYG, Seattle. Who's pulling out the dub in the great Northwest? We've seen it done before when no one gave the Giants a chance. Shout out to Colt McCoy. Hook 'em. NYG, SCA. Who you got? The Tank says, do the Giants trade Slayton to the Chiefs and make Hyatt wide receiver 2? Yeah, I would. I would try to go get a 5th-round pick for Darius Slayton, and then I would give all of his snaps to Jalin Hyatt. You get a pick to go into the future, and you also get a guy that you spent 2 picks on to draft to potentially see if he could develop into anybody. There are a lot of people that have said the Giants trading Darius Slayton makes no sense. I think it makes no sense to keep Darius Slayton. He's going to be a free agent, still can't catch the football, and he's best friends with Daniel Jones, who's not going to be on this team next year. Darius Slayton, we'll see you. Neighbor Solos, back again. We're going to get destroyed by Metcalf, Lockett, and JSN. Could we move Simmons to CB? It'd be a horrible idea. I could be wrong, though, with getting Phillips and Adoree back. Still TBD at this moment. As again, we're filming this video on Thursday. If Andrew Phillips and or Adoree Jackson are going to play, both were limited participants in practice on Thursday, the first time this week, meaning they are trending in the right direction. But look, it's going to be tough. The Seahawks have the number 1 passing offense in the National Football League. 3 really good receivers like you talked about. I don't want to see Isaiah Simmons guarding any of them. Christian, Sussy, what is the strongest part of this team? That's a tough question. I'd say the pass rush. You're top 5, I believe, in sacks this year. You're in theory, you're front 7. Lawrence, Thibodeau, Burns, McFadden, and Okereke. In theory, your front 7's good, and the defense has been solid this year. That's what I would say. Poke Moore, if we lose, what are the odds of benching Jones and starting Locke? Greater. Every loss the Giants stack, the odds of playing Drew Lock get better. I remember someone asked me in the offseason, at what point do you bench Daniel Jones for Drew Lock due to the injury guarantee? Like, Daniel Jones hasn't played bad enough this year to lose his job. But he hasn't played well enough to prove to me that he deserves his job for next year. And if he doesn't deserve his job for next year, you need to do the thing that prevents him from being on the team next year and earning $41.6 million, which is not letting him get injured and having that injury guarantee trigger. How many games under 500 is it going to take for the Giants to bench Daniel Jones? If you lose this week, you're 1-4. I think if you fall 4 games below 500, if you go 1-5 and you lose in week 6, you should come out with a new quarterback. Because 1-3 is a death sentence. 1-4. Season's cooked. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue.